In our last video, we talked about ways that you can get reporters to quote you inside of their articles and stories, and one of the things that we recommended was help a reporter out. So how does HARO work and how can you get involved? Let's actually take a look at the step-by-step process and everything you need to know to make the most out of working with this program to make sure that you have that elevated pitch when you are contacting these journalists about potentially quoting you inside of their stories. Now, over on their website, helpareporter.com, you do have the ability to go and say if you're a journalist or if you're a source. Now, if you are a source, you're going to click on source, and at that point, you're going to be able to then sign up. Now, this is free to you to use, and you're just going to have to go through their process of getting that signed up so that you can join. You're going to click on the sign up button, and at that point, it will allow you to go through the process of putting in your information, your first and last name, your email, and your phone number. Yes, you do need these in case the journalists need to contact you. These are being sent to them and part of your profile that only the journalists see that you apply to so that you have the availability to be available to them. So once you're signed up, you then have the ability to set your preferences. Once you've set your preferences for what you want, and I do recommend that you get all of their emails. They do have things in different categories, and you can say you only want notifications on certain categories, but I recommend you do all of it just so you can go through. Sometimes journalists put it in a different category than you would think, and it might be something you're highly qualified for, but you won't see if you don't have that set up. So for me, I get all of their emails and all of their notifications, and then on weekdays, Monday through Friday, I get emails 3 times a day from them. In the morning, very early first thing, partway through the day in the afternoon, and then usually in the early evening. Now, pro tip with this, you want to make sure you're checking each and every one of these emails as quickly as you can once they come in. These journalists are going to be looking for sources that happen very, very quickly. So usually the first people who apply that are qualified are the ones that are going to be quoted in the articles. So if you take forever to send in your pitch, it probably won't happen for you. Now, a lot of these journalists will say that you have a longer period of time to submit, but again, if there are hundreds or thousands of people pitching them for these articles, if you're not one of the early ones, you're probably not going to get in. It probably won't even get open because they're so inundated with potential quotes that they could be using inside of their platform. So once you know that these are coming in, make it part of your schedule if this is something you're really serious about to go through those emails. Now let's take a look at the emails and see what these actually look like. This is one of the emails that I have received from them recently. They're going to have a little quote up at the top. Typically, you don't need to worry about that. And then they're going to go into the categories. Now, again, make sure you're checking all the categories. Don't just look at the ones you think that will fall in your purview. You may find things outside of your typical categories that work really well for you just because that's where it happened to be indexed. So you're going to be able to go through these, and if you signed up for the individual categories, you may get multiple emails at the same time with the specific categories or the overall. I learned the hard way, just go the overall, otherwise you're getting a lot of emails to then delete later on. You're going to be able to go through and you're going to be able to look at those different topics. And if you think something might be a good fit for you, you're then going to be able to click on it and it will take you down below. Now, you can scroll down and find the numbers yourself, but it's really nice because once you click on that hyperlink, it's just going to remove or move you down further in the email to that specific place. So let's say we like number 44. We're going to click on that. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. It always takes us just slightly below the 44 number. And at that point, it's going to give you that summary. It's going to give you the name of the person, the category, the email you're contacting, the media outlet, and the deadline. Then below that comes the query. You need to read this very specifically and make sure you're a really good qualified fit for it. From that point on, they may tell you what you need to be sending in, but in general, what they say on the site is to be sending the basic information. So you're answering their questions specifically. You're not saying, I would like to talk about this and I have an idea for this. You're giving them the exact answer. If they can't copy and paste it, they're not going to waste their time with this in most cases. Now, if they ask for a pitch, that's a little bit different. But in general, for 99% of what you're doing, you're giving them the actual answer. They probably will not have further conversation with you. So you're giving them word for word what could be printed as a quote from you. From there, you then need to include things like your biography. Some people will include their biography photo, so you can link that. Don't send an actual attachment, just send a link. Chances are they're not going to use your bio. They're not going to use your links. They're not going to use your bio photo, but send it just in case they need it, just as a general overall what to do. Now, if this is a good fit for you, you're going to immediately craft your response. Keep it as short as possible. Unless they ask for a lot of different information, keep it as short as possible. The shorter your quote, the more likely they are to use it. So be very direct and to the point, and do not pitch yourself or your services unless they've specifically asked for that. Now, once you have your pitch written up, you want to make sure you say that you saw them on the website, you wanted to add your input. You can say your credentials or why you're qualified for that. So for me, if I were educating on social media strategy, I might say, hey, this is what I do professionally. Here is the pitch. And then below it, I would have my biography that would really reiterate the fact that I am the qualified person that they're looking for. And then you're going to create that. So address them, say hello, let them know why you're qualified very quickly in a sentence, then give them your pitch, then your biography and any additional information. You can also say that you are more than happy to say more things or to have more conversations in that specific space if they need it. Ask if you can help in any other way. And then you're going to be ready to send off your email. Now, here are some pro tips for sending your email. What you want to do is you actually want to look at that summary, and you are going to copy and paste their title. So you're just going to hit that copy button, and then you're going to put re in the colon and then their title, so they know exactly why you're going to be contacting them. It makes a lot of sense. It's as if you're hitting reply to their email request. So now you are going to make sure that you have put in their email address. This sends it to their specific email address on the website, and it will come from the website so that it's not you getting their personal contact information and they're not getting your personal contact information. And it goes directly through the site and sends to you, but it will show up in your inbox and in their inbox. And at that point, you have the ability to then address them by their name if they have that, and you can send it off. Now, this is something that's going to be really quick and easy for you to do. And some of these people will then respond back to you if they're going to use your quote, because they want you to then show off that article. So sometimes they'll say, yes, we're going to use your quote. Sometimes they won't say anything and they'll use your quote and then send you a link later on. And sometimes they will use your quote and not tell you at all. So if you do not have Google Alerts set up, make sure you do, because this is how you know when you're going to be quoted in these different things. And I've got videos on how to set up Google Alerts so that you're notified. That's how I found out I was quoted in Newsweek recently, because they didn't tell me they had quoted me, and it wasn't even from this website. But I have been quoted through something else, and my name triggered my Google alert and sent me that notification, and that's how I found out I was in that publication. And so you want to make sure that you're going through this every single day. You can send off to multiple things. So anything you think you're qualified for, you can absolutely send that when you are prepared to send out that pitch, but make sure it's a really good, qualified, well-written pitch. Make sure you proofread it and spell check it before you send it, and it is perfectly ready to be printed should they choose it. The shorter you can keep your pitch, the better. So be very, very clear about that, and make sure you read everything that they have asked for or required, because this will make or break your chances at getting involved with these. After the fact, I highly recommend, if they have quoted you, that you then contact them again, thank them for including you, ask if there's anything else you can do, and let them know how you are going to be sharing this link with your audience so that they know that they are getting shown around to more and more people. When you develop a good relationship with them, they're much more likely to use you again later on in the future. And I've actually had people come back to me as a source later on because they really liked how I communicated and worked with them. If you have further questions on how this works, go ahead and let me know down below. I highly recommend that you get involved with this, and you do not have to reach out to someone every single day. But if you find things you're qualified for, go ahead and do as many as possible, because that really ups your chances of being shown in more publications in the future. And then make sure you link all these things to your website, to any media that you're doing, and you're sending it out to your audience after the fact as well. Hit that subscribe and notification bell, because I'm showing you more ways to get big press inside of your business. In fact, we've had multiple PR experts come and talk to you about how they got their clients on CNN and the Today Show, and how you can be getting press as well. So you do not want to miss these episodes. And every single day we're dropping brand new episodes to teach you how to level up on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, live streaming, and within the tools and resources you need so that you can create your social content and then get back to what you actually want to do, running your business and living your best life. I'll see you in the next episode.